Monday it is. Next up, we got YouTube's darkest videos. Number 2. Now, y'all like the last video? If I should continue reacting to Nick Crowley, like this video. Like this video, alright? Like this video. And we're going to keep reacting to Nick Crowley, alright? He got these crazy dark stories and stuff like that. So, hey, it's a 36-minute video. I don't know if I'm going to react to everything. I don't know. But, hey, let's see what it is time about.
Nature gathering its forces for still another unending assault on man.
1-800 Embassy for
It sounds like it came right out of a zombie.
Computers are living in homes with basements. Go below and stay below ground level. Tornado warning.
Bro, it's like a scary movie.
April 9th, 2015, a tornado begins to form during the evening hours in the small town of Franklin Grove, Illinois, quickly growing larger and larger by the minute, to the point of reaching an unprecedented size for the area. Miles away in the town of Fairdale, 67-year-old Geraldine Schultz spotted the vortex forming in the distance. Worried, she called her husband Clem into the kitchen, where the two would stand watching the tornado out their window. For the couple, tornadoes were nothing new, and Clem was quickly able to determine that the storm would likely miss them to the east. But just to be safe, he went upstairs to grab some lanterns, in the likely event of a power outage. Upon doing so, Clem would catch a glimpse of the tornado outside the bedroom window, having grown significantly closer. Its wind speeds were well over 200 miles an hour, and having been classified as an EF4, it was the largest twister the area had ever seen. In awe of its size, Clem began to record out the window, still certain that the storm was heading east.
I don't look like it's going east to me, bro. Like it's going right to you, my nigga. Get in the basement, bro. Hop in the basement.
But unfortunately, he was wrong. And in reality, the powerful storm was heading directly towards him. By the time Clem would realize this, it was far too late. There was no time to run, and not a chance to hide. All he could do was stand there helplessly and watch.
Get in the basement. No one told y'all get in the basement? Bro, this is literally what you do, bro. You get in the basement because the basement won't, because it's underground. The tornado not gonna go underground. It's only gonna take stuff that's on top of the ground, wipe everything out. If you under it, it'll be cool. You know what I'm saying? I learned this in school. Hey, go in the basement. For tornado, go in the basement, bro. Look. The worst case scenario is your whole house gets completely chopped off, and you're just standing there underground, just looking like, oh my god. You know, that's the worst case scenario. You feel me? So, look. I'm so glad, bro, because we do not get tornadoes in Michigan, bro. Even though we got some bad weather, 1 minute is 90 degrees, next minute is -2 degrees. Literally, y'all think I'm playing? I'm literally serious, bro. It be snowing one day and then summer the next. I swear to God. It be literally, I swear to God, bro. Y'all think I'm just playing around? I'm not even over exaggerating. You know what I'm saying? We don't get no tornadoes and nothing like that, so I'm very glad. Oh my God, yo! Still there and reported. Like,
it was a direct hit as the EF4 tornado tore through the house before Clem could even say a word, quickly turning the home that had once stood there for 100 years to dust and rubble. And buried beneath it all was Clem, along with his wife of 25 years.
Dang, they died. That's tough.
They got fire rescue on the way, okay?
Against all odds, Clem would somehow survive, pulling himself up from the field of debris. It was a storm that would go on to destroy numerous homes and take the lives of 2 people, one of whom was Clem's neighbor and good friend Jacqueline Closa, who lived in the house that Clem had filmed being destroyed just moments before it struck him, and the other being Geraldine, Clem's wife and best friend. Days following the disaster, a family member who had been searching the area for anything salvageable would stumble across Clem's phone, which miraculously was still working. And on it would be the now infamous video that showed the point of view of a man being struck head-on by a tornado, and somehow surviving. The imagery, the sounds, and the context make this clip one of the most shocking I have ever seen, as well as one of the darkest across all of YouTube.
The tornado has passed. Capricious, swift, savage.
Before we move on to the next video, I want to briefly thank
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn? Oh, this is his own case? Oh, because it's an ad, so they put a case on.
You can even customize them with your name or a monogram. It's a
Bro, this dude's so creepy. He got this creepy ass voice, which is not a bad thing. I'm not talking down on you. But you try to do an ad, it just sound creepy. Like, everything just sound
case.
A new high-tech way to find out who's at the door.
With a video doorbell, you'll never miss a visitor.
Bro, this dude's a good
In the
ad.
past few years, the world has seen a boom in the use of doorbell cameras, mainly because of instances like this.
Oh, they got a camera.
What the fuck?
Capturing and exposing criminals in the act, from the most petty of thieves all the way to attempted murderers and kidnappers. Due to their knack for capturing disturbing encounters, the videos that have emerged from these devices have practically carved out their own genre here on YouTube, to the point that many, including myself, have almost become desensitized to them.
See, shit like that, that's fake, bro. That's fake. That's not real. It's not no damn clown walking up to your door. Let me guess, it was at fucking 3 a.m. It's a clown at your door.
Including myself, have almost become desensitized to them. But recently, a video began making the rounds, showing the events that transpired at a Las Vegas home on the evening of July 21st, 2021.
Hey, that's last year my birthday. Hey, my birthday coming up too, July 21st. W.
And it proved to be one of the most chilling I have ever seen.
Dang, on my birthday.
It happened around 8 p.m., where a young lady had been working in her kitchen, waiting for her husband to return home from work. It was another 100-degree day in Vegas, and likely in an attempt to cool down, she would open her window to let the evening breeze in. Unbeknownst to her, this harmless decision would lead to a terrifying series of events. Outside of the home, a man had been wandering the suburban streets aimlessly, roaming throughout the neighborhood before stopping in his tracks. In front of him was the open window, and a clear view of the woman inside. It was a chance sighting that would lead to the man approaching the house and ringing the doorbell, where the camera would begin to record.
Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you.
Bro, what's wrong with this dude? Bro, a little weird.
Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? What? Are you sure?
Like, bro, you obviously sound like it's a problem, bro. Like, you obviously sound like this dude literally. I'm talking about this dude literally sounds like he wants to do something to this lady. It literally sounds. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, bro, why you keep saying, are you sure? Yes, motherfucker, don't leave my house. I don't want to talk to you. What the fuck? Are you sure? Like, bro, stop. The fuck?
I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you.
Okay, and I don't care. Leave my house. You keep saying the same shit over, bro. It's a broken record. Are you sure?
The man stands there ringing the doorbell and knocking at the door, repeating the same sentences over and over again, calmly stating that he just wants to ask a few questions.
What question?
However, the woman inside had never met this man. In fact, she had never seen him before this moment. And to make it all stranger, she didn't respond to anything the man was saying, and was out of his line of view as he peeked through the door. So the phrases that he was saying were not in response to anyone, and instead, he was speaking to himself. Fearing for her safety, the woman inside didn't open the door or engage him at all, leading the man to take things a step further.
Are you positive? I just have a couple questions for you. Are you sure?
Oh yeah, this dude is lit. Oh no, you gotta get the strap, bro. Where's the strap at? You gotta take somebody down tonight, bro. He on some, I don't know, he didn't take 5 perks, drunk lean. Oh, this dude tripping.
Are you positive?
He talking to
Are
himself?
you sure?
No.
Are you absolutely certain?
He begins trying to open the door, but thankfully it was locked, causing the strange man to start walking away, cursing under his breath. The footage is incredibly off-putting, and although the man seems to stay perfectly calm, there was something very aggressive and erratic about the way he was speaking, making one wonder what his true intentions were when he approached the house. As the man begins to walk away, the woman's husband, still at work, would chime in through the doorbell after noticing the situation begin to unfold, which in turn would lead to the man revealing why he was ringing the doorbell.
So who are you?
What? Yeah? Are you sure?
Who are you?
Yeah, I just had a couple questions.
Bro, still saying, are you sure, bro? Can you stop saying that, bro? Bro, I'm gonna keep saying that shit up. Bro just responded, are you sure, bro? What is wrong with this nigga? Bro turned, he said, who are you? He said, are you sure? What?
Why he was ringing the doorbell.
So who are you?
What? Yeah? Are you sure?
Who are you?
Yeah, I just had a couple questions. I just wanted to ask you about the TV show. Yeah, can you hear me? What I'm looking for is for the girl that's in the house to come out here because I'm going to rip her and kill her.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. This is serious. He's not playing either. He's not playing. This is serious. This is I'm done, bro. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. I can't believe this. He's so serious.
You have her open the door? I'm going to rip and kill the girl that's on the other side of this door when she lets me in.
It was no secret what he had planned for that evening. He outright says it, even revealing that he had the weapons to make it happen.
I want to rip her and kill her because I have a knife and a gun. Yeah, and I'm going to knock on her door again.
Are you sure?
If that woman had opened the door, or if that door had been unlocked, well, we know what would have happened. But thankfully, neither of those situations played out, and instead, the man walked away muttering the same phrases over and over again.
Yeah. What?
Even staring at the house for a few moments before finally disappearing into the night. Police were called to the area moments later, but the man was nowhere to be found. As quickly as he had entered this couple's life, he was now gone, leaving them with the reality that at any moment, he could return. Scared for her life, the lady posted the clip online, where it would quickly go viral across YouTube, which honestly may have ended up saving a life. The following day, a viewer of the video would recognize the same man walking in another residential area, in one that was not too far away from the house where the encounter took place. And after the police were called, the man would be quickly arrested before he could play out his disturbing fantasy. When confronted and asked for his name, the man would simply state that he was the Holy Spirit, and said nothing more. Though his real name was revealed to be Christopher Sums, a man who had passed charges of stealing, assaulting, and intimidating a witness, with his mugshot being nothing short of completely haunting. But what I found most surprising was the fact that he didn't always look like this. In fact, just a few years ago, he looked completely normal. And according to his LinkedIn, he had a fairly impressive work history and what seemed to be a good life, until for whatever reason, things spiraled in the wrong direction. As it stands, Christopher is being evaluated to see if he is mentally fit to stand trial, as many believe that he likely suffers from some kind of psychological condition, hence the repeating phrases and the strange behavior. Though his blatant and rapid change in appearance might also point to heavy drug use or even a combination of both. But regardless of what was behind his behavior that day, the situation and the subsequent video is haunting and could have been so much worse had that door been opened.
Are you sure?
I feel like everyone's out to get me.
Hello, this is Tababa McConnell.
posted this.
YouTube is a site that draws in people from all walks of life, each with their own unique motivation for starting up their channels. Some are in it for the money and the fame, while others are in it for the love of creating content. But sprinkled throughout the site are a select few who come here to feel heard and to get something off their chest. Something that for 27-year-old Tababa McConnell would be his primary motivation for posting his first and only video on March 17th, 2018. Tababa had struggled his whole life with mental illness, suffering from both schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. These mental illnesses led to an event in 2013 where he would wander off from his home unprovoked. Outside, he began to walk for miles, essentially in a daze, before finding himself in what he described as a very dangerous part of town. Thankfully, Tababa would be safely found before anything had happened to him, but this incident would prove to be life-changing, as it would lead to his hospitalization due to his unpredictable and dangerous behavior. This would also start a long spell of being given heavy medication to help with his schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Over the course of the next 4 years, Tababa would find himself in and out of the hospital and prescribed a variety of powerful antipsychotic drugs, something that would consume his life as he felt like he was no longer in control of his actions. And feeling trapped, he would turn to YouTube to share his story.
Hello, this is Tababa McConnell. I'm talking and putting this video because I wanted to bring awareness to a situation that I'm dealing with that's very painful. I was hospitalized June 25th, 2013. I went there to supposedly get an IV. I ended up being forced to take medication. And it was pure hell. They gave me Haldol, Risperidol, and they were forcing antipsychotics down my throat. It was absolute torture and hell.
In the 10-minute video, Tababa made it clear that he was not consenting to this medical treatment, and he explained how the medication he was forced to take made him feel like a zombie, even saying that it had gotten so bad that he had thoughts of taking his own life.
It was bad. It was really bad, and I had suicidal ideation.
Throughout the clip, Tababa comes across as intelligent and well-spoken, but traces of his illness shine through periodically. For instance, he explains how immediately after being released from the hospital on multiple occasions, he would wander away from his home, even attempting to be homeless for a while admitting that he didn't know why this was an issue, or why it would always lead to him going back to the hospital.
I got off, and I think I had another episode as they like to say, where I said I wanted to be homeless. That's it. All I said was I wanted to be homeless. So, and I proceeded to be homeless. And next thing I know, the cops came and they arrested me and they took me back to the hospital. Then after that, I left and I tried to be homeless again.
Y'all hear it? That is July 3rd. Tomorrow is July 4th. So we'll pop fireworks. So, I'm gonna mute my mic. Alright.
And I was hospitalized again.
But things would be further escalated as Tebebe casually explains how he has violent outbursts, even resorting to punching multiple people who were trying to give him medication, as well as starving himself in retaliation.
So I started getting violent, and I started punching people, and I started attacking people in the hospital, and they had to tie me down. I began to lash out like, I'm going to protest this. I'm going to starve myself as a way of hopefully stopping this ridiculous forced treatment for absolutely nothing.
And by the end of the video, Tebebe flat out explains that he does not have any sort of mental illness, or have any symptoms for that matter, calling what was happening to him an injustice.
I guess I'm just trying to let you guys know the injustice that goes on.
It's a truly depressing situation, as on one hand he is being forced to take medication that essentially makes him feel dead inside, while on the other hand it seems very apparent that treatment is necessary to not only keep others around him, but himself safe, as he doesn't seem fully aware of how serious some of his actions are. Tebebe concluded the video by asking those watching what they thought of his situation, and though it didn't garner many views, a select few would stumble upon it and agree with his stance that the treatment he was receiving was unlawful, with many insinuating that he should continue to protest and not take his medication. These comments are unfortunately no longer available, as just a few weeks ago the video was removed, but they had been reflected across multiple sites as people called out the commenters for essentially trying to convince someone to go off his medication cold turkey, and doing so without knowing the true extent of his medical history, which obviously is irresponsible and potentially very dangerous. But unfortunately, these conflicting viewpoints came years later, and in that time surrounding the video's release, Tebebe had likely found the verification he was looking for. He was going to keep protesting his medication. This video would be the first and last that we would ever hear from Tebebe, but it wouldn't be the last we'd hear of him. Just 2 months following the video, Tebebe would make the local news after having an encounter at the hospital. There, a therapist entered his room to talk with him, when suddenly Tebebe snapped, grabbing her and refusing to let go, while performing lewd gestures toward her and eventually pinning her on the ground, refusing to let her go. The situation led to Tebebe being arrested for sexual battery, but no jail time was ever given, as instead, a plea deal was reached where Tebebe agreed to stay in the hospital, and most importantly, he agreed to go back on his medication and take it as prescribed. It's this note that hints at the idea that he had likely gone off his medication before this incident, something that would have directly led to his violent outburst. And given the event's proximity to the video that he had just posted, and the comments supporting his desire to stop taking his medication, it's not hard to theorize that Tebebe may have cut off his meds due to the advice of his comment section, or at the very least was further convinced that it was the right thing to do. Regardless, it seemed clear that the inconsistencies with his medication had caused him to lose control, and this wouldn't be the last time. In the summer of 2019, Tebebe was staying at an Embassy Suites hotel with his mother Zalem Abje, who had been caring for him around the clock. He had been moved there from the hospital as part of his treatment plan, as it kept him close by and easy to monitor regularly, but it also made him free of being cooped up in a hospital room, which clearly he didn't enjoy. The change of scenery was likely supposed to calm Tebebe and his growing anger issues, but unfortunately, his violent outbursts did not stop there. On August 20th at 1:30 a.m., Tebebe would get into an altercation with his mother in their hotel room. It's not clear what had started the argument, but things would quickly turn physical, as Tebebe started to shove his mother, pushing her so hard that it would knock her out of the room, and then onto their balcony. Their room was on one of the top floors of the hotel, and it overlooked the lobby down below, and in one more violent outburst, Tebebe would give one final push, this time knocking her all the way over the railing, causing her to plummet to the ground below. She did not survive the impact. Tebebe Mokanen was arrested at the scene and held at a holding center where he remains to this day awaiting his trial, though his crime is clear and it's likely he will spend the rest of his life either behind bars or in some kind of institution. The events that happened on that fateful morning are still somewhat unknown to this day, though we do know the events that led up to it, and the years of hurt and anger that Tebebe had built up, as well as his inconsistent and dangerous use of antipsychotics, which, unsurprisingly, it appears that he had again attempted to take himself off of his meds in the time surrounding his murderous fit, with this being used as the likely reason for his behavior that day, something that was telegraphed in one single video, which, looking back, almost foreshadows the tragic events that were soon to come, events that may have been further spurred on by the viewers watching him.
Make me a zombie.
The true miracle happened right out of a zombie movie.
Our next video takes us across the world to the Philippines in mid-July 2014. The story begins on a tragic note as a family says their goodbyes to their 3-year-old daughter. In the days prior, the young girl had developed a severe fever, and without access to an up-to-date medical facility, she would pass away in the morning hours on July 12th. With no pulse and no heartbeat, the little girl was pronounced dead and taken.
Alright, y'all. We gonna come back. We got 2 more stories left, alright? We got 2 more stories left. So y'all let me know if y'all want some more. You know what I'm saying? Like the video. Love y'all. We out.